Hola a todos, soy Mike. En este video vamos a hablar acerca de la redundancia pronominal. Hi everybody, this is Mike. In this video, we're going to talk about pronominal redundancy. Pronominal redundancy in Spanish. La redundancia pronominal en español. This is something that happens when both the pronoun and the noun it refers to are used in the same sentence. This is something interesting that happens a lot in Spanish. It's a common feature in Spanish that is often used to emphasize, clarify, or reinforce the identity of the person or the thing being referred to. This happens a lot. For example, if we have this sentence, Juan trabaja como mensajero, él es muy buen trabajador. Here, él is the pronoun referring to Juan. In the second part of the sentence, él es muy buen trabajador. It makes reference to Juan. So the sentence would be equally understandable without the pronoun. So if we have Juan trabaja como mensajero, es muy buen trabajador, it's the same. It's equally understandable. But the inclusion of the pronoun reinforces and clarifies who is being referred to in that sentence. Another example. La casa de María es muy grande. Ella vive allí desde hace años. In this case, ella refers to María. And although the use of the pronoun is not strictly necessary to understand this sentence, its inclusion helps focus attention on who lives in the mentioned house. Ella vive allí. So, this pronominal redundancy is a distinctive feature of Spanish and can vary in its usage depending on context, writing style, speaker preferences. It can change and it could be different depending on that. Now, there are forms like a mí me or a nosotros nos. Those forms are also examples of pronominal redundancy. And those forms are used to further emphasize the person the pronoun refers to. It is redundant. A mí me. I just have to say me, but that redundancy emphasize the action. So in Spanish, these constructions are common and are used to give the emphasis or clarity to who is being referred to in the sentence, right? The reflexive pronoun is always used in these forms. So make sure you're going to check the video that we already have about reflexive pronouns because we use that a lot here. So for example, a mí me gusta el chocolate. I like chocolate. Me gusta el chocolate. A mí me gusta el chocolate. That's a redundancy. A mí me. That's. I can say just me gusta. A nosotros nos encanta viajar juntos. Nos encanta viajar juntos. We love traveling together. So in these cases, the pronoun a mí or a nosotros reinforces who the subject or the action, the subject of the action is. Although grammatically, they could be removed. Grammatically, we can remove a mí, a ti, a nosotros, and it's not going to alter the meaning of the sentence. But in Spanish, we use that inclusion. We use this redundancy. This inclusion emphasize who likes the chocolate, in the case of chocolate, or who loves traveling together. That gives emphasis. This structure is especially common in situations where a personal preference or a shared experience by a specific group of people is being highlighted. This happens a lot. And the figure describing the repetition of the direct object pronoun, as in a mí me gusta, a nosotros nos encanta, it doesn't have a specific name. It doesn't have a specific name in traditional Spanish grammar, but it happens. However, it can be considered a type of pronominal redundancy because it's being redundant. Or it can be also called an emphatic construction to highlight who is the recipient of the action. Now, this structure is common in colloquial Spanish, as I said before, and is used to clarify communication. The form a mí me, a nosotros nos, a ti te, a él le, a ella le, a ellos le, a ustedes les. Although common in everyday speech and perfectly understandable by us in standard Spanish is considered more colloquial than formal. So this is something that you're not going to find in formal Spanish. This is more colloquial Spanish. Is grammatically accepted, is correct, and widely accepted in informal and conversational contexts. So you can do that, and you're going to find that a lot. Not necessarily informal, but in informal situations. I have some dogs barking. I hope this is not going to mess up with the information. Now, there are verbs in Spanish that are commonly used with these pronominal redundancies like a mí, me, a nosotros, nos. And those usually express personal preferences, likes, physical emotions, sensations, or shared experiences, and most likely are reflexive verbs. So, some of the common verbs include gustar, a mí me gusta, I like. Encantar, a nosotros nos encanta, we love. Interesar, a ella le interesa, she's interested. Molestar, a él le molesta, it bothers him. Aburrir, a ellos les aburre, they get bored. You see how different is the construction in Spanish versus English? Aburrir, a ellos les aburre, they get bored. Preocupar, a ti te preocupa, you are worried. Importar, a nosotros nos importa, we care. Fascinar, a él le fascina, he is fascinated. Disgustar, a ella le disgusta, she dislikes. Asustar, a mí me asusta, it scares me. Divertir, a ellos les divierte, they have fun. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Sorprender, a nosotros nos sorprende, we are surprised. Cansar, a ti te cansa, it tires you. Doler, a él le gusta, a él le duele, he hurts. Alegrar, a ella le alegra, it makes her happy. Enfadar, a nosotros nos enfada, it annoys us. Emocionar, a él le emociona, it excites him. Inquietar, a mí me inquieta, it worries me. So as you can see, we can use that pronominal redundancy in situations in which in English is kind of weird, right? And we have those verbs. But now, I have some upcoming videos in which I'm going to go deep for each one of those verbs with all of the conjugation forms, which are easy. Those conjugations forms are easy, and you're going to see that in the next videos. I'm going to create a playlist for those videos and for those conjugation forms. So remember that these verbs are usually accompanied by a preposition a, followed by the corresponding personal pronoun and the verb in infinitive form. A mí me gusta, the base form that would be. The pronominal redundancy is used to give emphasis. Remember, of who is this subject? Experience, the action or sensation. So this is basically it. That's the way it works in Spanish. It's mostly colloquial, so you need to get used to that in order to, whenever you're going to find that, you're not going to be like, oh, what's happening here? So because it's kind of weird, but it works, and that's the way we talk. So your homework is to start working on this. Try to identify these situations whenever you're listening to Spanish. Try to build sentences using these forms in order to express yourself about situations. Remember, I'm coming for later with videos checking the conjugations for all those forms. And if you have questions, check the video as many times as you need. If you still have questions, leave a comment. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. If you like the video, you know what to do. Please share with your friends, group, social media. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button in order to get notifications, because we're posting videos on a weekly basis. So, and that's also going to help us grow as a channel. Keep on growing as a channel. So I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch the whole video. I hope this is going to be helpful in order to understand the complexities and the subtleties and the nuances of Spanish language, and eventually that's going to help you in order to improve your language skills. So let's keep on learning together. I'll try to make as many videos as I can in order to further explain details on this, and looking forward to seeing you in future videos. So have fun, keep on studying, and see you later. Gracias por llegar hasta este momento. Gracias por ver los videos. Sigan estudiando, sigan aprendiendo y nos vemos pronto. Bye bye.